dignify everyone I encounter during the commission of my shit. I will treat everybody with courtesy and respect. It doesn't say as long as they don't disrespect me. Now, my comrade, he got heated up and I sent him off. But it don't matter what you say to me, right? You're not going to get me out of character because what I stand for means more to me than anything you can say. That's what that's supposed to mean to you. Now, you let people get you out of your character, then you disrespecting the thing you say you stand for. And the reality of the matter is the slave owners, the 13 colonies, all look like you, and all the slaves look like him. And that's the point that he was making. See what I'm saying? And that's the truth. It's irrefutable. And that badge, the origin of it is slave catcher patrol. And them, the origin of black people being slave catchers was master would come to the slave and he would say, look, if you help me protect my property, I won't touch your wife, I won't touch your daughter, you get a little shack at the end of the plantation. You help me catch my property. And the property you was helping catch was other black people. Because the slave owners thought you had instincts to help them catch your own people. So that's what he's telling him. He's telling him that what he's wearing, the origin of what he's wearing, is the slavers hiring him to help catch other people like him. Now, it don't apply to you because you're not black. You're not a descendant of American slaves. But black people who are born anywhere in the United States, or anywhere in the Americas, all the way to South America, Central America, all the way to North America and Canada. At some point in time, if your people originate from here, if your people have generations here into the slavery times, then you are a descendant of slaves. All the way down to the island, all the way down to Peru, to the southernmost tip. And so if you got skin like his, like mine.
Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught me this truth that rule well. Shalom to the elect that scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Payah. As you saw over here, where we reside at, over here in Philadelphia, you got Jakes, man, you know, Black Panther groups, you know, running down, speaking to these, you know, the law enforcement, the NYPD, which is New York, or, you know, the Philadelphia police, or, you know, with ARs and rifles, right? Which is to go, you know, they're telling them about the slaves, but as you saw there, but really, you know, it's claimed it's preparing to protect immigrants, right? From ICE in Philly and Baltimore. You know, and then you had protests for what's going on over there, what happened in Minnesota, you know. So with this whole ICE, you know, group set up by the Trump administration is just to antagonize, right? The scriptures say, who shall rise them up? Who shall rise up? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the biblical Israelites. This is all a psyops, though. You know? It's a psyops. And a lot of, like, images, you know, fluctuating throughout different social media platforms, you know, are getting a lot of attention. You know, this image that I got from that, you know, the elder bro up in the New York camp, Amawanga Bar, it was a good point because he saw another image which was pointing out certain things, and he pointed it out, you know, which right here is a little blurry because I took a screenshot, but her hand is backwards. The arm is all looking dislocated, like it's, you know, like it was a made-up image that was put together, right? Right? Then it's cold as shit, which he made that point. People out there with T-shirts and, you know, just, it's painting an image for the psyches of the people that's around, the masses, to believe in it and to gear up. And, you know, you got videos of, you know, other nations with ARs, right? Speaking about how this is my block and we're defending our area, you know, which they just, you know, having these little weapons, not knowing how to use them, not knowing nothing really. It's all for divide and conquer. causing a purge, to usher in martial law. You see? And remember, Yahushua spoke about divisions among the people. Because it's going to be a time of what? Jacob's troubles. So what's happening now is with the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And that's going to cause all force to come down on people. So don't be ignorant, Salakia, of Satan's devices or his schemes that's going on now, because it's all prophetic. As a matter of fact, hold on. I want to get 2nd Esdras 13:31, right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras 13. Salakia. Verse 31, it says, "And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another." So you're seeing all type of conflict going on, protests, riots, people being detained by ICE. Now people are gearing up with, certain military equipment, vests or whatever, even young ones, YNs, right? You got wars and rumors of wars, where Trump and going against Europe now, which I'll probably do a lesson on that after, but right now we're in a time of war, division, conflict, You see, so we're not taking part of that. Remember, the Lord said, vengeance is mine. Matter of fact, I believe that's in Isaiah 47. So we're supposed to wait on the Lord, not follow that. Because that's Esau's gift. Edomites, these so-called Caucasians. That's their gift. What? The guns, the military, the technology. That's their blessing. Right? We're supposed to trust on the Lord. Romans 12:19. "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." It's Romans 12:19. Alright? Because Isaiah 47, Salakia, I mentioned that earlier, but that really says, I will not meet thee as a man when Yahweh shall come back. But yeah, avenge not yourselves, man. Matter of fact, let's get another one. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither, right? So don't be a follower just because you see a group of crowd doing something that'll lead to your damnation. Because this is all part of the plan. That's why you got to be careful with certain videos you watch too. And certain pictures, images that's being posted up. Because a lot of it is AI generated, which is not real. To gather a fellowship, to commit certain things. You see? So use discernment, man. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many, to wrest judgment, right? So, hey, the Lord's going to bring judgment. And, yeah, man. We see what's going on. This is not our fight. So don't be fooled by it. You know what I mean? Because it's all gearing up for civil civil unrest, I mean, you have something called problem, reaction, solution. You know? That's why you have movies that matter of fact, this is why you had damn, what's that spokesman for one of the, he was like a chief for the law enforcement, I forget what state it was in, that was declaring these, bills being passed. This was like what, 3 years ago and change maybe, about how a purge like bill and things like that, executive orders being passed to where, certain crimes is not going to be considered as crimes, you know? And we're seeing things now being more and more implemented. Bills and things like that was passed. Now, hey, the actions, people are starting to see actions now. So this is a time where we got to have discernment, have faith, right? Because what? Scriptures say, matter of fact, let's get that. Let's get that. There's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse, start at 4, it says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God, Yahweh Yahushua, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach Yahushua." So, there you go. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, man. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. We're not out here with, weapons or even promoting that. Because that's a bad look. Hey, let the 2/3 deal with that. What I mean by 2/3 is those that don't believe, that just want to, follow after their own mind. Right? So I'm going to get this real quick. Book of Isaiah, because there's going to be a lot of bloodshed coming, man. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1, it says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." Right? Here's the point. "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." So that's the spirit of Egypt now, which we're in modern day Egypt, Mizraim, a place of basically captivity, which our people are in. So the Lord is going to set up these people to go against each other. Scriptures tell you how the Lord said what? How there's going to be divisions amongst the people. So, yeah, hey, man. So don't fall for this, Jake. You know what I mean? Because it's all psyops. It's all, it's a psychological warfare to get things more ante up, so to speak, And those that know the truth, that know, don't follow that. You know what I mean? Have faith in the Lord. So anyway, just wanted to bring this out because you got different, nationality like Esau. They giving up. The Proud Boys, the MAGA people, because you're going to have something called race wars, racial tensions. Like the dude was here talking about, about that in the train station in Philly. About the slaves and all that. The only way we're going to get out of here, out of this captivity we in, is through faith and trusting in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Not none of this carnal activity. It's supposed to be spiritual. And look at how everything is happening spiritually. Because it was written already. So with that, be on point. Hopefully this, was edifying straight to the point. Till next time, I'm going to say shalom.